Morning all. So we've got 2 months until our first race of 2023, which is the Club Sport Trophy season opener at Silverstone. So we've got to start working on the car. So I've come down to the garage where the car's kept. I've got a lot of little jobs to do on the car before the season starts. We haven't got any major jobs, but lots of little fiddly things to get done. The first one is actually dealing with the Skunk throttle body, in that it still has the issue where the throttle can stick ever so slightly open, and it gets worse when it's hot. So I've already modified it, but I just want to see if we can get it better than that. But first things first, we haven't started the car in a while. Let's see if we can get it to go. Intake air temps 1 degree Celsius, coolant temp -1. See if it will go. Shut that off. Oh, it wasn't even tight. So the throttle body itself is starting to get a bit dirty. You see quite a bit of dirt around the rim of the throttle plate there, so we can clean that at the same time. A bit of oil. We have got quite a lot of oil in the intake manifold itself. Now this engine does burn oil. We lose about ½ a litre every hour of running, which is a lot. It does need a rebuild, but there is quite a lot of oil in there. So maybe we need to run a catch can, stop that building up, because that can't be good, can it? And look, there's a PCV, so it's quite close there. Don't know if you'll be able to see where it comes in. No, probably not. But there we go. So going to take that all back to the workshop and see if we can modify it. Okay, so here's a throttle body. It is a bit dirty. Let's see if we can't work out what's going on. That's gross. Right, so the issue is that throttle plate can stay slightly stuck open. In fact, I can almost get it to click in and out. It's actually this spring here. And what I've done in the past, and which is a popular mod for these, is to drill into this section here an extra hole so you can put more tension on the spring, which is what I've done, and it was a big improvement, but it still grabs slightly. So I wonder if we move it round to the other hole, and if there's any places that we can grease just to try and stop it from grabbing, because it's getting quite annoying. Aha! It's a spring. That's the flat washer. That's a nylon bushing. So that's the original hole that the spring goes into. And to increase the tension, you just we drilled extra holes and moved it around, but that's how that works. But we'll give this all a good clean up. And I wonder if it's a good idea if we put some grease on the inside to stop it all binding up. I don't know. I mean, if it doesn't work, I can always take it off and put it back again, can't I? So this is my magic, use it on everything, works great on everything, Redline CV2. Let's give that a good clean out, shall we? Let's get some brake cleaner. So even that shaft feels like it's binding ever so slightly. Interesting. Oh, did I get you? How dirty it was. God, it just gets everywhere, doesn't it? Every now and then I get a little bit lonely. Turn around. And you can see the outside of this has been rubbing on what looks like the spring itself, which means we absolutely need to grease that up. We really don't need much. Hardly anything. And let's just make sure that at that point where it's touching, there you go, that feels nice. And then same thing again, tiny bit of grease onto whatever this is. See, it's got witness marks, so it has to be where it's rubbing. So we'll just paint that up because we don't know which way it's going to sit. That then goes on there. Spins quite nicely. Bum, 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 bum. Then it's going to be, well, this will be the difficult bit. So how do we get, so we know the spring goes over that way. We're going to have to do it like that. So, I'm sure you can see it all. So, oh, that's a good point. Well, the spring rides in here. Let's just get some, grease it up as well. We don't want any chance of it binding. So my spring has now got to go that way. And down we go. Oh, that's quite stiff actually. But there's I can't feel any binding in it now. It definitely feels smoother than a nut. Yes, it's got to come around a little bit more. There you go. Now that, I'm telling you now, that feels great. That really feels like it's not binding. Yeah, that's great. I think that's done. Just feels like a throttle body now. Here's the original one for the car. I mean, far less tension there. But even if it's old and gross, it still doesn't stick. Whereas this one did. So my advice is drill the holes so you can increase the tension, but also lube it up. Don't just leave it to chance. Because all that happens is, when it's hot, it will just stick open ever so slightly, less than that. And then you're idling at 3000 RPM. Alright, let's just check, inspect the other gaskets. Yeah, they look good. For the idle valve, no complaints there. There you go. We'll get that back on the car and then on to the next job.